Hello and welcome to I've Got a Cool Job, Aurora Public Library's interview series where we talk to professionals who perform interesting work. I'm Sam Marcello, and with me this week is Scott Wachter. Hi, Scott. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right today. COVID, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to introduce Scott a little bit further. So Scott Wachter is an award-winning podcast producer. When he's not assisting on shows or giving people directions, he can be found reading comic books and wrangling two dogs. Does that sound accurate, sir?
Yeah, that's about right.
All right. So this is a new interview series that the Aurora Public Library is running, and a lot of it is just to expose the public to the kinds of work out there that maybe they're not known for being conventional or they're just different. So I want to start with an easy question, which is, can you explain exactly what your job is for our audience?
Well, my job changes every day, but for the most part, I put content for the web together, mostly in the form of podcasts, but I also do educational videos. I write news. I run around trying to keep people engaged and informed.
Fantastic. How did you get into podcasting and how long have you been doing it?
So in the olden times, long ago, a friend of mine stole a piece of his high school theater's original mixing board. Now this is a theatrical audio soundboard, so like 400 inputs because you got to manage like a bunch of microphones and a full band. And he set that up in his basement and he recorded 4 people just doing nonsense for an hour and then put that on the internet. And I guess people like that because the internet was very different then. You could just do stupid things like that. And he invited me on, and when I discovered that other people and I started listening to other shows like his, and then I found good shows, and somewhere along the way, I started making my own, and that turned into going to radio school and then getting paid to do other people's shows.
So what kind of educational background would somebody need to have for podcast production? And is there schools, let's say, within Ontario that have that kind of a program that teens might be able to access?
So this is still very much a loose, very unstructured space. So you'll see a lot of self-taught people get into it, and if you can really build that muscle, just do it on your own. You'll also see ex-radio guys, you'll see ex-TV guys, you'll also see, particularly if you're looking to get paid for this, you're going to see a lot of people with marketing degrees upskilling into the more technical aspects, or even just learning how to host or how to present.
Okay.
Like there's a couple of there's 4 or 5 ways in, and there are, of course, again, marketing schools and vocational colleges that'll teach you TV broadcasting, and there's a ton of resources just to get started from home.
Fantastic. I mean, I didn't realize there was so many different avenues for how to get into this profession. What's the favorite aspect? What is your favorite aspect of your job?
So you start by, again, when you talk about podcasting, you start by recording, and that can be fun or it can be a slog or whatever. But there's this point where you just sit down with everything you have recorded, and the canvas is half full. The canvas is already half full, which is super easy. It's so easy to start with the lines already down, and it's just sitting down and making every little bit of that just that much better. And that's always my favorite part. It's just sitting down and saying, all right, now let's really make this easy to listen to. Let's find some fun bits to insert. Let's get creative with what's already here.
That's amazing. Okay, I've got a different question for you, which is, what's one of the coolest experiences you've had doing your job?
Well, I have gotten to interview my favorite living author. I have gotten to meet the best game designer on the planet. I've gotten to interview actors. I've gotten to shake hands with an astronaut one time.
I was going to say, who's the actor?
Well, I've Elias Tofexis for sure, but also I've spoken with Mark Meir and There's a few others. I've started to lose track now.
You've done so many, that's for sure. How about the author? Who's the author in question?
Matt Stover. I got to interview Matt Stover about one of my favorite books, so that was nice.
Awesome. That's gotta be like really rewarding when you get to meet somebody that you admire. Is it like always an awkward experience, do you find?
I think you have to, okay, if they say don't meet your heroes, and I think they're about half right on that, but I think approaching people who you do admire or whose work you admire is just sort of starts by reminding yourself that they are people and that you're here to talk about what they do. You find the ground there, and then ideally halfway through you wait until about halfway through before you admit you're a huge fan. You act like you're there for work.
Work purposes, I see.
Yeah.
So the last question I have for you is, what are some encouraging words that you would offer to those interested in becoming a podcast producer?
I would say that start by making the show you want to hear.
Okay. And why do you say that?
I think there are a lot of people who can. There's a lot of cynicism in a lot of online content production, or just like guys who, well, like there's a certain amount of cynicism and trend hopping and just ego boosting out there, where it's just like, oh yeah, I need to do makeup tutorials, not because I care about makeup, but because there's a lot of money in it, or you know what, if I'm a daily political news crank, I'll get a lot of attention, and that'll be good for me because I want attention. And I think just start with something that you genuinely want to hear yourself, and work out from there, and hopefully you can succeed that way.
Oh my goodness, Scott, thank you so much for your time. This was a really interesting discussion, and I kind of hope that listeners and viewers kind of learn something new about what it means to get into podcasting. Because again, it's a profession that feels really new in a lot of ways, but maybe a lot of people just don't know what the trappings are to get into it. So we really appreciate your time.
Well, thank you all, and have a great day.
You too. Take care. Goodbye.